been keeping up. The latest is the back and forth between him and Mark Breland, his former trainer. What do you make of the spill out from that fight for Deontay Wilder, man?
I mean, sometimes guys just can't, blame the team, man. They got to look at themselves, and make those changes with yourself before you try and blame other people. So that's all I can say about that.
Those are the words of Charles, I walk this earth like a god, Martin. And he, of course, is I wouldn't say a fan of Wilder. I think he is a friend of Wilder, to say the least, an accomplice, or not close. But he says he likes Wilder, so there's never been any bad blood between him and there. They've been definitely associates. But he said something without being upset about it. You have to find something within. And you have to stop looking at others and look at what you did wrong. And that's the one thing that we never seen him do. We never seen him take ownership of something or any mistakes that he did in that fight. We look at that fight and we dissect it. We talked about it again and again and again. But at the end of the day, Wilder never talked about the things that he could have done better. That's one thing that you first had channels that, the Wilder channels, I call them, that at first they were talking about the things and the adjustments that he had to make, but that went right out the window. They stopped preaching that doctrine and started preaching blasphemy. And it was sad because what Charles Martin is saying is absolutely correct. You have to go and dig deep within. You have to believe that you can beat this guy, but you have to find out a way to beat this guy because this guy beat you. He beat Wilder that night. A lot of people, it hurts them to say it. It angers them to hear that. But he got beat, and he never really realized and understood why he got beat. He would rather resort to every other thing that could have possibly happened besides what happened. He got beat. He got beat to the punch. He got bombarded. He got roughed up. He didn't have anything else. The only thing he had was toughness, and the toughness turned into stubbornness, and the stubbornness turned into stopping the fight. Because a stubborn fighter is a guy that can be hurt or killed. And nobody wanted to see that. Because it looked Wilder wasn't going to go anywhere. No, Wilder wasn't going to quit. I don't know if he has any quit in him in the ring, but he was getting beat to the point where the blood and the things of that nature came about and the fight was stopped. Now, back to Charles Martin himself. He should know more than anybody else. Why? Because once upon a time, he was that undefeated champion. He wasn't the WBC. He was the IBF champion. And he went over to fight Joshua and got knocked out. And he went on his tantrum for a while. He was tripping. He was. Think about it. Remember, I smoke weed, bitch. I smoke weed, bitch. And I'll fuck everybody up. He was tripping. If you guys can remember, Charles Martin was on something. People thought he was on crack and, saying that he was on some type of weird drug and those type of things because he couldn't handle defeat. The way he handled defeat was very uncanny. Okay? So if anybody should know how to come back from a loss eventually, it's Charles Martin. Because he's been there. He's not a person that's talking as though he doesn't know. He can't empathize. Sure, he can empathize. He was there way before Wilder was. Wilder had a way longer reign than he did, but then Charles Martin fought the guys that put him down, that beat him. Charles Martin has 2 losses right now. But that Joshua loss did something to him. And that's what happens when you lose and you're not accustomed to losing. You don't know and you're not prepared mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You're not that prepared, conditioned to lose. So yeah, he was on one at one point. but he came with a different perspective. He was like, I hope these guys can get together. I hope wish the best for them. They're two good guys, and then, I hate that happened. But then really he blamed Wilder. Why? Because Wilder did not take ownership of anything. The suit was too heavy. That was the first thing. And then it was supposed to have been a lie and cover up and all that. It really became pathetic after everything said and done, because everything said and done, people will remember the excuses. If he doesn't do anything else in the sport of boxing, people are going to remember that you got beat and you made up 100 different excuses why you lost, and it just shows you're a spoiled sport. And people by nature are pessimistic. They are. 9 times out of 10, a person will remember the worst thing you did to them versus the best thing you did to them. It's sad to say, but that's true. A lot of times, hey man, you don't remember all the times we laughed and got along? Well, I remember I remember the time that I was pissed off. A lot of people have that type of mentality. So, to Wilder, I think he needs to get back on the horse and ride it. Okay. But no, this is some good instructions for me. I think Charles Martin, gave some neutral instructions. Really, it wasn't any neutral. It's biased because he's a friend, or at least associate of Wilder. So, but I think it's warranted. I think what he's saying makes a lot of sense, and I think that he's been there before. That's why he knows how to answer or deal with that particular situation. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Charles Martin's counterpunch towards Deontay Wilder and Mark Breland. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.